Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is episode 3.
Yes.
Yes,
Episode 3. I feel like I have a lot and not a lot this week.
Yeah.
Somehow I have both.
Right.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, when I started writing things down to be like, oh, what did I do this week? Because I feel like I'm going to have to reach.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I started writing things down. I was like, oh, wow. I kind of do have a lot going on.
You do? I have such a boring life that, when we have something to talk about, it's like, great, I didn't just go to work this week.
Right. But then I realized as I was writing stuff down, I was like, man, I have to go first, or else Vanessa will go first and she'll take all my things.
Oh, no. Okay, you go first. Tell me about your week.
All right. I will start with the things that I know that you have things for.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So I want to say for work, we missed each other all week again.
We did.
Because I took Tuesday off and you
Yes.
took Thursday off. So
we avoided each other in the office again.
Exactly. And that also means that we missed our weekly coffee trip. So that was really sad.
That is true.
That's my favorite part. The only bright spot in going into the office.
Right.
So
And then I was going to make up for it on Friday before I went to my nail appointment, and then my nail appointment got canceled, so I didn't even get coffee on Friday either. I'm so sad.
Luckily, it was Ethan's last week home, so I was able to just be like, Ethan, you want to go get coffee today? And he was like, are you paying? Hell yeah, I'm there.
Did you go during
Yes.
the work day? I'm not one of
Yeah.
our normal in-office days? Oh, okay.
No, it was, I think it was Monday, so.
Oh, okay.
So I got it over early.
Yeah.
But-
Lucky.
I know. But secondly, I know both of us hung out on, I know we were both there. We both
Was I,
hung
though?
out. Probably wishing you weren't, because it was so hot and so
was very
humid.
hot. Yes.
I felt like I was melting, but we both hung out together. I said it again. We both hung out together on Saturday and went to Porch Fest. So,
Yes.
Yeah. And
Porch Fest was really cool because that is not, I'll let you explain what it is, but it is not something that I have ever experienced. Where I'm from in California is not something that this would happen in. So just this experience here, it was really cool. Both Tim and I very much enjoyed it. So do you want to explain what Porch Fest is?
yes, but first I want to say I'm super glad because I'm really happy you guys both had a good time, because it's kind of like book recommendations where I was like the whole time I was like, oh my god, please don't hate this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
I invited you here and you hate it.
I know. It's, like I said, it's like book recommendations. I don't like it.
Right.
But yeah, for everyone who doesn't know what Porch Fest is,
Yes.
it's basically mini concerts, and they're held on the porches of houses in the historic district of St. Anne's Hill, and that's in Dayton. So I wrote down I didn't write down what bands we went to see, but I wrote down the genres, because the genres were pretty
Varied.
Yeah. So the first one we saw was that vocal jazz group. The second was an indie rock group, which I did not realize they were indie rock. When we got there, I thought they were just regular rock. So when they started playing their songs, I was I don't recognize any of this stuff.
I don't know what this is.
Right.
Yeah.
I held up the Google Music app and to guess, so it tells you what it's listening to. And Google was like, I don't know, 8% chance it's this German rock band. And I was like, no.
I don't think it's them.
It is not that.
Tim really liked them, though.
Yeah.
That was his vibe.
Yeah. I got the feeling that he was going to like that one. And then I think the third one was that Irish pub music.
It was.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear them very well, so we were pretty far away.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one, which was probably my favorite, and was that what he calls roots rock.
Yeah.
That one was...
And it was just a one-man band.
Right, yeah, I liked it to the in Mary Poppins, the guy who's playing all the instruments at the same time. Yeah. It was like that, and I did write down his name. It is Wild Forest Blackberry, because it was so impressive. I was like, I'm gonna have to look for this guy. And
he was really good.
Yeah, and I know Tim was like, he's like, I'm gonna go talk to him. Find out where he plays.
And then he didn't.
He was like, nah, he looks busy.
Right.
Like, right.
Yeah, so, that was really cool. I'm really glad that we did that.
Yeah, and then after that, we all went to the pub and got lunch, and that was pretty good.
It was disappointing. They were like out of everything, including the dessert I wanted.
I know. That was really sad for you.
Yeah, it was.
Because I just like looked over when she was like, we don't have it. I like looked up at you and you were just like, your face just like, like, well then I don't want anything.
I don't want any of this. That's frustrating. Mm-hmm. Well, that's you're right. That is basically what my week was as well. The only difference was that I did not have an Ethan here. So, in fact, Tim was gone for work all week. So I was just chilling with the animals all week.
Just ultra alone time.
Yes, ultra alone. And the whole time I was like, actually, there was one day where I really wanted some food. And I was like, do you know if I had an Ethan, I could send him to get me food?
That really is like one of the nice things about him being able to drive. And I think I've said this before. Like, man, I really want ice cream. Ethan, do you want ice cream? Yeah, I do. I'll go. I was like, yes. I buy you fly, and now it's just like...
Now it's just the thing. Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing this week was it was Ollie's 5th birthday.
Yay, happy birthday, Ollie.
I bought them dog cookies, and when Tim got home, he was like, do we have cookies? And I was like, those are not for you. Do not eat them.
Like, but they could be for me.
They could be. Actually, the ingredients are pretty, it didn't seem like there was anything very like dog related in it, so if he really wanted to, he could eat them, but they're probably not very good because they probably don't really have sugar in them.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just probably doesn't taste great.
Just like a plain biscuit at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, so that was the extent of my week. And also, so kind of like feeding into that, I'm going to go into snacks because I think I should earn a medal for this week because with Tim being gone, it was just like sitting here doing nothing, and all I wanted to do was eat, and I didn't. Like, I just wanted all the snacks, all of the food, all of everything. And I don't know if it was laziness or just really good willpower, but I did not eat all the snacks. So literally my snack this week is a protein shake. That's the only thing I had this week that was like consistent and delicious. So for everyone out there, the Premier protein shake in cinnamon roll flavor is delicious. Oh. It tastes like a little bit like horchata. So if you're into that, you should try it. But that's my snack this week because I failed on already. Episode 3, I already failed at eating a good snack this week. So protein shake it is.
I don't know. I think I love horchata. I think it's delicious.
It's so good. And I don't want to like mislead anyone and be like, this tastes just like it. It's just like there's a little taste to it because it's like the thickness of like a milky thing, and then the cinnamon in it. It just tastes like it.
Well, I guess I should ask, does it taste more horchata-y than the one that was actually, that I brought into work for you to try that was actually horchata flavored?
Yes, it tastes more like that than the specific horchata, whatever, protein powder. It tastes more like it than that did, yes.
I have a whole bucket to finish before I can buy new stuff.
You have more willpower than I do at that, for sure. I would have just been like, I'm out.
I'm hoping Mike will drink it all.
Yes, let's hope.
So I have that
leave
going
that
for
one
me.
out for him.
Right. It's like put it in the front so it always gets grabbed first.
Yes.
Well, before I talk about my snack, I just
Yeah.
want to tell you 2 more week things.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. I just back to the Ethan thing, and it kind of goes with snacks, but he left for college this week.
Yeah.
His semester started, so I have no child in the house anymore. I have no one to go get snacks, and I have nobody to love. Like, I'm putting that out there too. I don't use my child just to go get snacks. I do love my child, and I do like to be around him.
No, he's specifically there to bring you ice cream.
Well, I mean, he gets ice cream too, but it's like a symbiotic relationship. I don't know.
That's right. Okay.
And then I thought it was super cute when I saw it, because I was like, oh, I should talk about this, because I sent you that picture last night that we took off the trail cams.
Oh,
At our cabin. So we have a cabin up north. It's in northern Michigan, and we have 20 acres. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and we have trail cameras up mostly to see like what's moving around on the property. I think a couple years ago we had bear, black bear on the property, and I know I've sent you that picture, but last night they pulled the camera data, and there was the first picture that came up, the one that I didn't send you, was just a picture of like a bobcat by itself, and we were like, oh wow, that's crazy. We've never seen bobcat on our property
And
before.
we were just talking about bobcats on Saturday. How
Right,
funny.
Yeah. And then the second picture, which is the one I sent you, was we found out that bobcat was actually a mama bobcat.
Yeah.
And she had her baby with her. And when I was jotting that note down, I was like, is it kitten or cub? Which one
I think
is
it's
it?
cub.
Well, so I looked it up, and it's actually kitten.
Really?
But the unofficial nickname for it is a bob kitten. So...
Bob Kitten is adorable.
Right.
They can go by nothing else after this.
Right, so everybody out there, Bob Kitten. We
Okay.
have one of those on our property.
We should put a picture on our Instagram.
I can send you... Oh, wait,
Okay.
I sent you the picture already, but we can put that one from the
I'll
property.
put it up
if
there
you want.
with our episode 3 stuff.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to meet them
No.
at night, but they're super cute to look at on a screen.
Yes, because they're Bob Kittens. Before you get into your snack, can I give one more snack-related thing?
Yes.
So, last week we talked about Dippin' Dots.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some Googling, and they are, in fact, still in mall vending machines.
No.
They are in, actually, 4 malls within driving distance of us. So, we could go on a little adventure.
Nice.
And try to find all the Dippin' Dots vending machines.
Yeah, like Dippin' Dots, bookstores.
That's right.
Like, just like road trip. That's a
Yes.
good idea. Let's do
So,
it.
I wanted to...
What are you doing tomorrow? Let's not go to work.
Great. But if there was ever a reason to skip work, Dippin' Dots road trip is it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
Agreed.
But I just wanted you to know that, so that... Because in the last one I said, they haven't been around for like 10 years. No, they're still here.
Liar.
Dang it. Okay, what was your snack?
So I was trying all week to think of something that I had that wasn't ice cream, because I was the first 2 weeks were ice cream, and I realized,
fine.
1, I have a problem, and 2, I had ice cream this week. So I have to preface this with 1, it is now pumpkin spice season in our house. Mike loves pumpkin spice everything. We have like pumpkin spice creamer. We have pumpkin spice donuts. Do you want to take a guess at what kind of ice cream I made?
It was your first one of your new creamy?
Yes.
Mike runs everything.
Yes. So we had pumpkin spice protein ice cream is the first ice cream that I made with the new Ninja Creamy that I made him buy me. So it's like, you know what I need? I need an ice cream machine, Mike. And he's like, you have an ice cream machine. Get rid of the ice cream machine and I'll buy you a new one. And I was like, all right, buy ice cream machine.
Done.
This was not a hard decision to make.
You're probably going to have to share that recipe because you know Tim's going to want pumpkin spice protein ice cream.
Yeah, it was really good.
He is also a basic white girl.
Exactly. I used that horchata protein.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it turned out real good.
Oh,
So
all right.
I didn't even have to find pumpkin spice protein mix
That's
because
good.
I can't bring that into the house.
No, you can't. So you've got protein ice cream. Look at us being all protein.
All healthy and shit.
Yeah.
As healthy as you can be with pumpkin spice.
Yes, exactly. I mean, at least what did you use for the pumpkin spice flavor?
Pumpkin spice creamer.
Oh, you just used the creamer.
Yeah, I made it
Alright.
with the horchata and milk and like vanilla and stuff, and then once it froze, it does its little blend thing, and then I filled that middle cavity with the pumpkin spice creamer, and then like did another mix, and yeah,
Okay.
it was great.
All right. Yep. Tim, I can already hear him making it.
So, do you want to talk about books first? Your books
Me
first?
I can go first.
Hell yeah.
So I'm really excited about my books this week because at the beginning of July, we, along with another one of our friends, went to the Columbus Book Festival. The Columbus Library put on like a free event for like authors, indie authors in the area, and like they had books out for sale and stuff. I think it's overflow from the library and all that kind of stuff. But one of the authors that I met there, she had a series. I think it's going to end up being a 3-book series, but she had 2 of them there, and I bought them, and she signed them, and all of that, and I decided to read those this week, and I loved them.
Really? Which one was?
So,
well, you're about to tell me which one it is.
So, the author is Nikki Robb, and it's okay, so I know we talked about spelling last week. So, or like hard, whatever. So I think I'm saying this one right. It's the Viridian Wardens.
Okay.
And so that's the name of the series. And the book is called Shadows of Verihdia is the first book. And the second book is called Mark of Mythica.
Okay.
So before I tell you what they're about, I'm going to tell you the first one I rated 4.5 and the second one I rated 4. So
Dang.
It's pretty, it gets a lot of protein, cinnamon
Protein
roll
shakes?
proteins. Yeah. Okay. So what it's about is, it's a fantasy. I would call it new adult fantasy, romantasy, that kind of thing. I would call it pretty spicy. It's, I think, spicier than I expected it to be. So there's that. Okay. So it's about this girl who she's one of the students and that attends the Viridian Institute, and in this world you have to attend this institute until you're 25, and then at that time they do like this test and they figure out which one of the 7 courts that you're best suited for, and then you ultimately get to pick which court you go to after you graduate the school. But each court has like their own attributes to it. So like one of the courts will be like for warriors, one is going to be for healing, one is for passion, like stuff like that. And then our lead female, Lexa, she receives a result that's like not great. And once they receive their result from their test, they have this big ball. And the wardens, who are the leaders of each court, have the opportunity to come to the ball and like try to get people to come, especially if they have like a powerful magic or something like that.
So it's like recruitment.
Try to recruit. However, over the last 100 or so years, none of the wardens have ever come. But because of her result, all 7 of them come and they all want her to pledge to their court. So then the remaining of the book, none of that is spoiler. That's all coming directly from the little blurb you can read, like what the book is about. So I made sure I didn't say anything that was spoilery.
Nice.
So the whole rest of the book, both 1 and 2, are kind of about her figuring out what the courts are all about and like who she's going to end up pledging to, like all that kind of stuff. And it kind of follows all of that. I'll start and say the only reason that these are not 5 stars for me, like the reason I marked them down, is because there are so many people and like trying to remember. It was so hard to remember. I literally could not tell you right now who the wardens are for each of the courts. I don't even remember all 7 courts. It's a lot. And that is honestly my only down mark. For the most part, she didn't, like the lead girl didn't have the same annoyingness that most female leads have. There were some parts that were, you know, typical, but I never really got like super annoyed with her, so that was fine, or that was good. It really was just that there were just so many people, so much to think about and remember, that it kind of took me out of some of it, and that's the only reason I marked it down. But ultimately it was really good. All the characters that I remember, like all the leads and stuff. So the lead girl, and then her brother is a lead, and her boyfriend is a lead, stuff like that. That liked all of them, liked the magic. It's kind of a very complex magic, and each court has their own types of magic that they can use and do, and like all that kind of stuff. So it was really cool. I really liked that. There's also a lot of like really good representation in this book. So the lead character is actually described as like curvy. So she's more of like a plus size type lead, which was nice. I believe there's a couple like non-binary characters. So there was a lot of representation in the book as well. I really enjoyed it. I would say also the only other thing that I would mark it down on at all, another reason why it's not 5 stars, is some of the sex was like just for sex sake, which I'm reading a fantasy book. I want it to be more fantasy than sex, right? Even when it's romantasy or whatever, I want it to be more fantasy than spice. And in this one, there's a lot of spice. It doesn't necessarily take away from the story enough for me to mark it down any more than that. But there were a couple of times where I was like, this one isn't really necessary.
Like skip.
Yeah.
All right, story.
So, yeah, exactly. But another, I want to say a positive to it is it's dual point of view. So it's Lexa, and I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it's Lysander or Lysander. Can't... Either one of those.
Who knows? You guys can't see me, but I am shaking my fist.
Yes,
like,
I'm just gonna say that it's Lysander, and
okay.
Please, hopefully, correct me, somebody, if you know better than me. I did Google it and I couldn't find it, and it could also just be because the book's not super big. Like it's still kind of indie, so there's not a whole lot of information on it. But I did like it was dual point of view, and you would hear the same scene in both points of view, which I actually really enjoy. So you wouldn't get like, so for example, in the beginning when I said that all 7 wardens came to the ball, you get both of their points of view. He's a warden, by the way, the Lysander or Lysander. He's one of the wardens. And so you get the full ball experience from Lexa's point of view, and then you get a little tidbit of the same thing that you just kind of heard from hers from his point of view. And so you don't get like the full chapter all over again, but you get enough to where you're like, okay, that's cool. Like you get what were they both thinking at the same time. And it kind of happens like that through both books, where you kind of get a little bit of an overlap, which I really enjoyed.
That's cool.
Yeah, because it's nice to hear, what Lexa was thinking the whole time. It's nice to hear what he was thinking a little bit, like how did he experience the conversation, So yeah, I totally recommend it if you like spicy fantasy. It's really cute. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's not available on audio, but it is available on Kindle Unlimited. So you can go read it for free if you want to. I don't know if she sells the hardcovers, the ones, because that's what I bought at the book festival. But I do think it was in paperback and on Kindle Unlimited. So yes, I would definitely recommend them. They were pretty fast reads too. So I really, really liked them. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I had like a positive out of the book fair or book festival.
Yeah.
I was really worried.
Like, how do I say I don't like this to somebody I've actually met? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I met her. She signed my books for me. Like,
yeah, she was super nice.
Yeah, she was super nice. Her husband was there too with her, and he was super nice, and literally just walked by the table and saw the covers, and the covers is what got me. And so I'm so happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, go check them out.
Yeah, well, when you said the names of the books, because we obviously went at the same time, and I know we bought a couple books that are the same book.
I specifically picked one that you did not buy.
Yes. So, because as soon as you said the name, I like turned around and looked at my bookcase, like, do I have this book? And no,
you did not.
Maybe I'll read them on Kindle Unlimited, though, because I don't want to borrow your signed copy.
I mean, you can, but...
No. I draw the line.
Okay, great.
It's like paperback, okay. Hardcover, maybe. You know, if I really, really, really want to read it, and then it's signed or special editions, like, no, get that out of my face. Like, do not put that on me. Yeah, do not put that on me. I don't need that.
Right.
So, well, that's good. Yes, I'm glad you liked it.
Kindle Unlimited. So you can get them there.
Yeah, maybe I'll try and read those in the next month or two, and then we can compare.
Yeah. We can do like a whole episode on it.
Yay.
With all the spoilers.
Yes. Oh, that's a good idea. Do a whole spoiler episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. I'll try and read those.
Excellent.
Cool. Well,
so that was it for me.
Yay. I also read 2 books this week.
Excellent.
And they were both fantasies.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, it's a week of fantasy. Yeah, so the first one I finished was City of Serpent, and that one is the 4th book in the Secrets of Ormdale series. I should say that I didn't like book number 3 as much as 1 and 2. And when I read the description of the 4th book, I was like, meh, not feeling it. Yeah, I just wasn't really interested. And then, so it's been out for a couple months now, and it keeps popping up in my Kindle Unlimited, like, we suggest you read this book. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll click on it again, read it one more time, see if it sparks something that wasn't there 2 months ago. Right. And it actually wasn't the description, but the fact that everybody is rating it so high.
Oh, really?
It was rated like a 4.5 something.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, fine. Like, I will trust the internet.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's smart, but okay.
The Nigerian prince told me it was a great book. Like,
the internet is always right.
I love those commercials. So, a little bit of backstory in this book, and I'm pretty sure there's no spoilers here. It's just all a smushy of all the descriptions of the first 3. But the main character, her name is Edith. Her family learns that they inherit a house and a whole bunch of property. So they go out there for a visit, and while they're there, they find that, over time, oh, this place has dragons, which is not a normal thing to everybody else.
Okay.
And to make things more interesting, Edith herself is actually like a very special dragon person, in the fact that all dragons are poisonous, but she doesn't react to their venom. And she's only like one of like 4 or 5, 6 known people who are like that. Okay. So, it's kind of a big deal. It makes her like a very important person. They call a Marseille, but this place has a whole bunch of wild dragons, and so like the first 3 books it's just like her learning about who she is, and she's dealing with like dragon related emergencies, like, yeah, in book 3 there's some kidnapping, and so
like she's the one they call because she is immune.
So nobody knows this before she shows up.
Oh, okay.
Like, she just inherited it because her father actually inherited it. Okay. And she just happened to have that gene passed down to her. So, yeah. So, book 3, at the end of book 3, things happen. And so in book 4, she's really, I feel like she's dealing, maybe not so much trauma, but she's dealing with a lot of guilt. So it was kind of a slow start. The author's introducing new characters. She's in a new location. She's in London in this one, which she wasn't in the last 3 books.
Okay.
So they're introducing a whole bunch of new characters, and it felt like the first part was just laying the groundwork and introducing the characters because they're all important in the end of the book. So, but Edith herself in this book, I don't know what happened. She makes a couple mistakes that I'm like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, who does this? As another female, I can tell you that if a strange man we don't do that. Do not trust strange men. Come on. Like,
oh gosh.
But I think, like I said earlier, I think she made a lot of her decisions based on guilt, which totally understand. But yeah, I ended up really enjoying this book.
Okay.
And
is the 4th one the last one?
No,
of the series? There's more? Okay.
Yeah, because you said that, I will tell you that, one, they left it open for a book 5, but lastly, the main problem that they started out with in the book still exists at the end.
Oh, no.
Like, nothing happened. Things happened. I assume they're important for book 5.
Yeah.
But, like where you started is exactly where she ended. So
it didn't resolve anything. It kind of just...
It was just
continued
telling more
it
story.
so that you... Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but yeah, I really liked it. I definitely liked it more than book 3.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say 4.5 stars. It was a pretty good read. That's
really good.
Yeah, it was also really short. So it was
it's not 4.5 stars.
Oh shoot. Bloop. It is 4.5 protein ice creams.
Yes.
Specifically pumpkin spice flavored.
That's right.
So, thanks for the catch.
You're welcome.
Okay, so my second book, it's called Dreadful, and I probably would have never picked this book myself. I got this book in a subscription box, and when I read the back of it, I was like, oh man, this has assistant to the villain vibes.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that assistant to the villain is one of the few books, I think the only book this year, that I just straight up said, no, I'm never going to read this again.
Right, you
DNF.
didn't even add it to your end of year, I might come back to this list.
No. I just said, nope, I don't need this in my life. I'm done. So I actually DNF'd that book. So I had major concerns going into this book. I don't even know why I was like off the shelf. I was like, maybe I'll read this one this week. Yeah. I think I just thought that like I'll give it like my 100-page rule, and if I don't like it, then I can just put it to the side and I don't have to look at it anymore.
Right.
Was it terrible? But it wasn't great. I didn't DNF it, so it's already beat that very low hurdle.
Right. Was it, once you finished it, did it have the same vibes as Assistant to the Villain?
Kind of.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think what killed it for me is like at the beginning, the book was slow, like not slow. I mean, you're just finding out like this guy wakes up, and he has amnesia. He doesn't know where he is or what he's doing. He just realizes that he is in a place he doesn't want to be. And it's because, like, you can tell it's an evil lair. And he's like,
oh.
Yeah, he's like, shit, I have to get out of here before the guy who owns the evil lair shows up. And then, a couple pages later, he's like, oh shit, I think I'm the evil guy. So he's like, okay, great. Coming to terms with that, and I thought that part was funny. I thought that part was interesting. It was a good, like, he's spending most of the first half, 2/3 of the book just realizing what a crappy person he was. Okay. And he's just like a crappy, wimpy guy. And just, I was just like, man, they did not try.
What a lovely description for a man.
I know. Caitlin Rozakis, who's the author, and she wrote this man to be very specific.
Okay.
So, and in the first part of the book, in between finding all that out, there's some like low threat emergencies that happen, like, oh my gosh, this is such a bad thing. And then they wrap up pretty quickly. It isn't until the middle of the book, though, is great because the plot starts to pick up. He's gaining momentum. He's finding out like some like memories and stuff like that. The character development is pretty good for the side characters. And then at the end, I was like, what happened? Well, why did he return to being this like wimpy, like, like so anticlimactic?
Oh, no.
So, yeah. But it was still, it was still better than Assistant to the Villain. And,
okay, great.
I was just sad that it ended that way.
So what did you end up, like, what's your final feeling about it? Like, your rating, how do you...
Like, 3.5 protein shakes.
Okay. That's not terrible.
Right. Yeah, the first part was good. It was, normal story building. Second part was really good. The third just made me sad because I was like, man, this could have been a lot better. I'm taking points away from you because you made me sad.
Okay.
That's it.
That's fair. All right, great. So before we go on to our discussion question, I want to read you something.
Okay.
So I've seen this like all over the internets. So I'm sure there's people out there have seen this before, but it's somebody's Goodreads rating or review of A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Oh, good.
And it's just the review on the first one. So it made me laugh a lot, and I want to read it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's from Allie L. That's what her name is on on Goodreads. And like I said, I've seen this in a bunch of different places, so I don't really have like a way to like give credit, but that's the amount of credit I can give. So she says, an illiterate 19-year-old straight up kills a guy and is outraged when there are consequences. Her punishment is living in a mansion with a hot mirror and hanging out with his friend, the nicest guy in the world and the only character I care about in this series. This is a tragic turn of events for Feyre as it separates her from her life as an indentured servant to her shitty family, who's going to take care of her deadbeat dad, her personality-proof sister, and Nesta, Satan's apprentice, whom I hate. That was me. Okay, it goes on. One day, a generically handsome man appears, and all of Book Talk developed a bat fetish overnight. Some stuff happens. Feyre ends up in a Triwizard tournament from hell, where she has to outsmart a worm. Feyre struggles, but eventually triumphs due to severe interference from outside sources. This goes on for 5 books. The fan base for this series is the size of a largish army, and if you say something negative about Cassian, they will hunt you down and ruin your life. And honestly, good for them.
Jeez. If the books were actually told like that,
right?
I would be so down to read these books. Right? Like, hell yeah, I want to hear more. But
it's not like that. It's the way that she explains it is perfect. Like her sister, who's personality proof, yup. Her sister, who is Satan's apprentice, yup. I love that she called it the Triwizard Tournament from Hell, because it's like a Harry Potter reference, which makes me laugh so much. And it's so true. She says, and this goes on for 5 books, and it's so true. Like, that's the gist of all of them. Like, I just that review is great.
What's the reviewer's name?
Her name is Allie L.
All right. Well, I have a request of Allie L. If you ever hear this podcast episode, please rewrite ACOTAR.
Right?
And then we can do send it to us and we will do a full reading. Make it one whole episode or maybe a 5-part series of an episode where we're just we'll reread your script. This is a plea to you.
It explains it so well. I love it. I know. I love that she ends it too with, and good for them. Go ahead. Love your people. It's fine. All right. Thanks for indulging me in my ACOTAR review. That's
probably the only review that I've heard about ACOTAR and that I'm
right. It's cool. Not, it doesn't feel supremely biased where I love them and I will die for them.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Are you ready for our...
Yes. Let's do
our mystery discussion question?
Right.
Give
me anxiety.
ASMR. Yeah.
If it's weirdly closely related to something that we've already talked about on this podcast, I'm making you repick.
Okay. I don't think this one is. So the question is, do you have any bookish pet peeve? I feel like this was a you question that you threw in here, so I hope you have an answer.
I feel like we talked about a lot of bookish pet peeves, but because we already talked about names like that.
Oh yeah.
And I know in the last, I can't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before where I talked about my hatred for fantasy books that are solved. Unsolvable problems are solved with things that didn't exist until the end of the book.
I know, but that's 98% of fantasy books.
I know.
I think I have a bookish pet peeve that's specific to romance, any book that has romance in it. Okay. And that is, it's really funny because it's actually something that I wrote down for this series. I just didn't bring it up, but it's pet names. And it's a pet peeve of mine because most of the time it's not something that people would actually say. It's some action that this person took, and then all of a sudden now the love interest is calling them by that name. Specifically, I remember it in the Lost and Found series it's the ones that it's the Whispers of You, Echoes of You by Catherine Cowles. Every single one of their leads calls the girl by a nickname. I think one of them might have been okay, but all the rest of them, it's cringe for me. It's a pet peeve for me for sure. When they have nicknames, the Viridian books, he does call her by a nickname, and I don't hate it. It's one of the only ones that I really haven't hated. But I feel like I have more pet peeves. It's just who I am. But this is one I can think of.
Right, but can I tag on to that one?
Yeah.
Not so much pet peeves, but as soon as you said it, I was like, yup, that's what it is. I hate it when books won't just swear. Just say the swear word. Because they're trying to keep it YA or something like that. Just say the swear words. I hate when they substitute it with a different book where it's just instead of something that looks like it was auto-corrected. And I'm no, just... That is almost enough for me to put the book down and never read it again. Yeah.
When they, or you make up a word to use as a bad word, and it's more confusing trying to figure out there's no context other than okay, you're angry, so I guess this means fuck. I don't. What are you saying?
Right, because I said earlier, one of my favorite series is the One Dark Window series, and they do it in that book. And
they do.
The first time I saw it, I was like, what? What are they talking? What is going on here? And then I had to go back and they're trying to swear.
Right.
But they're doing it
they
stupid.
use the word trees or something?
Trees.
Yes. And that is like the bad word. Like, what is that?
Does, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense on some level, but at the same time, I was like, this is just say the bad word.
Yes, just say it. It's fine. Yeah, that's really frustrating too. Yeah. Remy.
Did you hear the flippy?
Yes.
Remy agreed with you. He's like, I hate that shit.
He wanted to have his voice heard. Yeah, I don't think I can think of any other.
Yeah.
No other pet peeves are coming to me. I'm sure I have them, but.
Yeah. I'm going to start writing them down when as I'm journaling my books, I'm going to start writing down my pet peeves so I could keep adding to this list.
Yes. Yeah, we're just, every episode, we're just going to have like a little spot at the end that's like, here's another pet peeve for you.
Like, update to episode 3 pet peeve list.
We might have to have a running list online at some point.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many good ideas are coming out of this podcast.
It's like we finally figured out what we're doing.
Maybe.
Barely.
We can ask all 18 of our listeners.
That's right. Oh, we love you guys.
You're my favorite 18 people.
That's right. Well, I think that's everything. So go visit us on Instagram at Savor the Story Pod. When we put the episode up, we're going to have a little question in the story where you can chime in on our discussion post. And then you can go to our website, savorthestorypod.com, and fill out the form there if you want to send us an email about any book recommendations or book complaints that you share with us, or any snack ideas. You know, since we clearly suck at snacks already.
Struggling so hard.
Please give us your snack ideas and or
something besides ice cream, maybe.
Right. Or just send me your random thoughts because I want them. So.
Oh yes, Vanessa's plea for random thoughts.
Yes. Or if you find a hilarious review about ACOTAR specifically.
Yeah, shoot us the link.
Yeah, send us that.
That one was pretty good.
Yes. So I think that's everything. We still haven't figured out how to finish this. So
No. Thanks for listening.
Yes. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.